We'll be taking you through the days. Is it 8 games today? We had 8 games, right?
Eight
Yeah.
games
Eight
today.
game NBA slate. Lots of stuff to discuss. Lots of important trade ramifications that are going to trickle down, which we're going to be discussing throughout the hour. I'm Chris Spags, joined today by my good pal, the Chubster, Josh Engelman. How you doing, Josh?
I'm good. We're going Friday old school here.
We are.
Friday
People, yeah, if
rolling
you're
if
a
we were
newer
Joe House.
Awesome follower, you may not know that Josh and I used to do Fridays. We would call them weird Fridays, and they would often get very weird. But now we're professionals, so I don't know that we're going to get as weird as we used to.
Yeah, I don't have anything to get weird about today. It's easier to get weird in baseball than it is in basketball. There's too much real shit happening when you do basketball.
There is, especially today. There's too many things to actually think about, too much brain function required with all the guys in different spots here, but we'll talk about them all. And of course, we are, as always, whether it's me and Josh, whether it's me and Eddie, Josh and Eddie, any configuration you can provide, we are presented by Thrive Fantasy. And they are a premier DFS app on the newer side, but still premier in my mind, where you draft a lineup built of prop bets of only top tier athletes. Pick 10 props out of the 20, and the less probable a prop is to occur, the more points it's worth. And that's where the game theory lies. So go click this link. I'm going to drop in the YouTube chat now. It's bit.ly/awesemo. If you do that, you'll get $10 on any $10 deposit, $20 on a $100 deposit, and $50 for $200 or more. So go check it out. Click that link. Support us because they support us. And Josh, let's talk about a Thrive prop up top here.
Okay.
A guy who's going to be affected by the trade stuff going on, Ben Simmons. He's got an over-under of 16.5 points. On the over, you're getting 90. On the under, you're getting 110. What are you doing for our Aussie friend?
16.5 points. That's it?
Correct. Just points.
What was the over total?
The over was going to be for 90. The under was going for 110.
Oh, I'm absolutely taking the under. I've got him at 17.
I've got him at 18, but I'm going to go under 2 because that's a nice shading there. And the usage problems for the Sixers, I think, seem like enough where take enough off the table. I mean, both Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler are pretty big ISO guys. I don't know. I'm a little concerned about Simmons here, so I would go under, and I think the shading helps. But check that out. Make that bet yourself on Thrive Fantasy right now. Add it to your list of props. And again, click that link in the chat. Get $10 on a $10 deposit, $20 on $100, or $50 on $200 or more. And it's fast release, so go get it right away. Tell me what you think about the Sixers, because I think it's going to be a mess today. I'm a little scared for everybody besides Joel Embiid. But how are you feeling about them? Because it's a nice spot versus Denver in theory. Very nice total in that game. And we saw that matchup a couple weeks ago, and it was pretty good.
I don't know what to do with them. I don't particularly like anybody, if I'm being honest.
Just in general in the league, the entire league?
No, we don't know how it's going to shake out. And I hate those situations. And now there's 4 dudes to figure it out. I didn't like it when they got Butler. That made it harder. And I didn't know how it was going to shake out for 3. Now it's 4. So I like Butler the most, I think, at 7,300, at least on DK. But I have them all as like relative equals. So I'll work through each guy independently, depending on what sort of salary tier I'm at, because they all seem to be like one step above the other.
Okay. Also, people asking in chat, Eddie's suffering from some kidney stone problems. So Daddy's got to pee rocks out of his stuff. So that's where he is today. But our wishes are with him. But yeah, that's why he couldn't be here. He should be back tomorrow. He listed himself as probable on the injured list. So keep your eyes peeled for him. Do you want to talk about our debate real fast? Do kidney stones just occur when you pass 35? Because Josh and I are closing in on that.
Yeah, I would prefer to never have those.
I would too. I remember my dad had them when I was little. I don't remember what age though. But I'll tell you, don't seem like a delight. So we're keeping Eddie in our prayers because it seems like you're literally like you're birthing a child is what the comparison has been told.
Yeah, I just don't want to know.
No, I don't want to know personally. I'm okay hearing secondhand information about that. All right, so we talked about the Sixers. What team are you the most intrigued by who's had a trade? Which of the guys do you think you're going to benefit the most? I mean, there's some lineup shifting around. Bobby Portis is going to be a popular play today. Which one do you find the most appealing?
I hate saying that it's Bobby Portis, but it's probably Bobby Portis.
No concerns about him coming off the bench?
No, not really. Not on that team. It's all the same. Dude just loves to shoot and
he does, and punch people.
That's very true. No, I mean, he's grading out so well for me on DK at 5,300. He's just really hard to get away from, in my opinion. Just trying to take a look at anybody else that would be relevant from a trade perspective. Nothing really. Yeah, like it's pretty much Portis standing out a lot for me.
What about an overall team? I mean, we should talk more about Portis, but so the Mavs kind of intrigue me a bit because I think there's just such a big usage hole left behind. They're at home. I think it's not a terrible matchup versus Milwaukee. Their totals are going to be down. Middleton's out. So enough reasons to think the Mavs might be able to hang in there, even though they're not that great of a team, but they have some guys who are overperforming right now. How are you feeling about their chances?
This team. I mean, look, Milwaukee has been smacking everybody. And I mean, is Dallas better now? Is that a weird thing to say? Like, is Tim Hardaway worse than Harrison Barnes, honestly?
Worse in terms of a team construct, I think, because he's a ball hog.
I don't think he's really a ball hog, though.
Have you watched a lot of Knicks this year? I know you're not a lover of shitty basketball.
No, so we're is he a ball hog on the shitty Knicks? Yes. Do I think that he's a ball hog necessarily in that particular offense? No. I just think he was miscast. Now, look, he's shot happy, and he's the son of a former player, so he definitely has some sort of sense of entitlement when he's on the floor. But I don't think it's as extreme as it was in New York.
He shot 15 times off the bench last game, I think, which seems reasonable, but that's him getting comfortable. I would not like him in the starting group. I think he would actively affect Lucas Brown 16 times in that debut off the bench, 26 minutes.
By the way, I love him today.
He's at a good price. The matchup fits. Milwaukee allows the most 3-point attempts in the league, which a stat that we've mentioned a bunch in all our pieces of content today. I get why you like him. I like him more off the bench. I like him. Him and Lucas should be separate but equal would be my goal.
It's probably in their best interest because they have a lack of talent. Not having JJ Barea on this team is really hurting them more than I would have expected. Well, that's probably not the right way to say that. It's hurting them in that I think that he's really good and they're missing him, but I don't think they're appreciably worse at this point.
No, I would agree. I think that if anything, they're going to be able to gel more as a team. I think Barnes was a good player, but kind of just had to get his usage and kind of had to force his way into things. I think now having Finney Smith, Finney Smith has a lot of Barnes-like tendencies in terms of defense and not a terrible player. Not a great per minute player, but I think what you're banking on is just Luka having a ton more usage being good for everything.
I think I would agree with you. I also don't really love Luka here today.
Why? Because of the price?
Because of the matchup. It's really difficult for me to advocate for playing the Bucks.
I like him. I like him, and I like the Mavs in this spot. Not enough. It's not a super highly owned game, in terms of a game stack. I've been very big on game stacking recently, and it's been benefiting me for the most part to try to find these games that people are avoiding because of blowout risks or whatever it may be. And I think this one grade's interesting because you could really stack the Mavs well. Whether they're going to perform or not is up for debate. Like Jalen Brunson, I have in a stack, but if Hardaway's starting, Brunson to me is going to be worthless. I don't think he's going to get anything at all because Hardaway will just Kirby it all up.
Well, if it helps, he's worthless always.
He's a rookie, and he's no. Jalen Brunson's shown some value. Shooting 10 times a game the last 3.
Worthless. And I cannot get this scrolling text thing to work the way that I want it to.
It was working good before. I was really impressed. I thought it was just an OBS setting that I didn't know about.
It is an OBS setting that you don't know about.
Oh,
but for some reason,
wow, that actually looked really good on. I was watching the Deeper Dive show where you just copy and pasted the ad copy in there, which I enjoyed.
Oh, that was Tom. So shout out to Tom.
Oh, here we go. There it is. There.
I just deleted it now.
Okay, speaking of, so you're going to see some stuff scrolling by there. As you've noticed, we have a new overlay, a new background on the YouTube video. So keep your eyes peeled there because we're going to have some different price things, different messages on the bottom, different deals for you potentially. But one of them that we're mentioning on there right now, next week is our anniversary. And it happens to fall on a day in which, unfortunately, there are no NBA games because it is the NBA All-Star break. But we are doing a big giveaway regardless because we want to thank everybody who supported us over the last year. So similar to our 24 days of giveaways things, basically you like this video, leave a comment on the static version after this is done, or comment on any video on the channel at all, and you'll be entered to win a 1-year all-access pass to Awesemo.com, $700 value. Obviously, a pretty big freebie here. We're also giving away another membership on Twitter. So if you follow us on Twitter, look at the pinned tweet we have there. You just have to retweet it and reply telling us how you've improved as a DFS player, something you've learned over the last year. And you'll be entered to win. So basically, we're giving away 2 memberships, one on YouTube, one on Twitter, and both of those for 1 year, $700 value. So like this video, leave a comment on the static version just telling us your favorite hat that Josh owns, and you'll be entered to win. That's our way of saying thanks to you on our first anniversary, our first year of existence. So it's been a fruitful one. We really appreciate it. But make sure to like the video, leave a comment, check the Twitter at Osmo_com, and learn more about how to win on there as well. So there we go. You ready for our big anniversary, Josh, and your big birthday?
It is my big birthday.
It's not really a big birthday, just kind of a birthday.
That's a very true statement. There we go. Now I got my beach behind me. Now we're good.
Oh, very, very favorable beach retire. Oh, people downvoting because no Eddie. Shameful to all of you. All right, let's see. What else should we hit on here? What other games are jumping out to you so far in your crunches?
That's a good question. So guys that I like the most right now, I guess would be probably the easiest way to say it. Tim Hardaway, Towns, Draymond, Dion Waiters, Wiggins, Satoransky, probably a little bit of Damian Dotson, Portis, Levine. I know I'm naming a bunch of guys, but I just know that I'm gonna have pretty sizable amounts of these guys. What about you?
How are you feeling about the Bulls? So the Bulls have been, so this has been a struggle for me. I've written about it and talked about it a couple times at Live Before Lock, where they always overprojected for me. Now they're actually living up to those things that still seem like overprojections, but they're not. But you have Otto Porter thrown into the mix. He's going to take obviously a little bit of usage off the table. How much I think remains to be seen. Any concerns about the Bulls? They're pretty highly owned overall, both Levine and Markkanen in particular. Does that feel riskier than it should for the Bulls with a game versus the Nets?
For Levine, for me, I don't care. For Markkanen, I'm not as interested. I mean, I don't. Maybe I shouldn't say it like that. I won't be wildly above the field on Markkanen. It wouldn't shock me if I'm pretty wildly above the field on Levine.
Doesn't it feel like a good time to jump off Levine after he was 30% owned the other night and had a monster day and a pretty big pace up?
I had 55% Levine that night, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
I too. So actually, I had less Levine that night because of the same concern. But now that I feel like the public's gotten a taste of good Levine, I feel like now they're due for a taste of dog shit Levine. I don't know. I feel like for me, I would want to either be at the field or a little bit. Oh, it's 15% ownership on DK. But I wouldn't go crazily above it on DK.
I would assume that I end up in the 30 and change range.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. It's a pretty big Vegas, the totals for both sides the Bulls getting a 4-point boost. Yeah, no, 6-point boost. And the Nets also getting a 6-point boost on their season average. So that's actually pretty favorable overall if you were going to stack the game or even just have these guys.
I'm a big fan of Levine. Markkanen, I don't need the huge ownership there.
Would you play Porter or Dunn?
Dunn, I hope not. Porter was grading out pretty well earlier. Yeah, if he's at 9%, I'd probably end up in that 15 range. I'm running a crunch right now. Getting too many of these new things set up, so I'm a little behind.
It's what happens when we're in a fancier environment with our swank new screen and our little crawl.
It's been a long day today. Not gonna lie, got a lot done though.
Hey, good job. Productive before we go on our little all-star break.
Yeah, we're gonna have some decent NASCAR content coming up. Not that we didn't have it before, but making a big push. So,
hey, there you go. If you like cars driving in circles, go to osmo.com.
Absolutely. Shout out Phil.
All right, so checking the questions. Also, we are checking the premium Slack for questions first, and also patrolling the YouTube chat. So just tag me if you have anything you want to ask as a 30-mile question, a higher level question right now. Either or, as we will hit later in the show. But yeah, if you're not on the premium membership at osmo.com yet, use promo code Live Before Lock to get 50% off of your first month. To get all the ownership projections that we talk about, as well as rankings from Osmo himself. He's a top player in the world for good reason. And Josh's projections as well, which are great every day. You could just plug them right into Fantasy Cruncher. Go have a ball with them. So go promo code Live Before Lock for 50% off to get all the things that we regularly discuss.
Good work.
Hey, thanks. I'm going to keep my plug-in strong just to close the week out.
Y'all are wishing me happy birthdays way too early, guys. I'm in here every damn day. You can hit me on the 12th.
Spags lost without Silva. I don't think Evan Silva would be particularly helpful for this NBA slate either way. But he's near and dear to my heart. I'm not lost without anybody. Y'all like Alec Burks. I guess let's talk about the Kings a little, since they are another team affected by the trade. We talked about the Barnes equation for the Mavs side. How are you feeling about the Kings? Because the Kings actually are the team who worry me the most, with having a guy like Barnes in there, having Burks, even if he's off the bench. I mean, he's almost definitely going to be off the bench, but
I barely have him playing, by the way.
Was that?
I barely have him playing, by the way.
Burks?
8 minutes. I don't know how he gets many more, unless you... I don't know who the minutes come from.
Let me see. I think I have your minutes on my sheet right now. Bielitsa's going to be
if you want to take
low.
6 more from Bielitsa and put Burks at 14, I think that's fine. But I have a hard time getting Burks to a number that puts him as fantasy relevant.
Yeah, I don't think he's fantasy relevant, but I think he's relevant enough where, I don't think I have your most recent projections in here, so I can't do the math offhand. But I mean, it seems like he would take Yogi's minutes, 15, I guess. Yeah, I mean, or he splits him with Yogi.
It would surprise me if they took those minutes away from Yogi Ferrell.
But then why trade for Alec Burks?
I have no idea.
I think he's an improvement. I think a lot of you talking shit about Alec Burks before too. I'm an Alec Burks fan, and not mostly because he was good in the playoffs last year. That was really beneficial on some showdown slates, which, as we all know, I love very much.
Well, the Jazz didn't want him, and then the Cavs got rid of him. Why are we super worried about Alec Burks now on his 3rd team in a year and a half?
So it's weird because he's not old, but he's old enough where he's not like a prospect that people want to invest in for the future. So I think that's why the Cavs got rid of him, and he uses the ball enough, his usage is high enough where he's not going to be super valuable unless he's killing it. But I think from a fantasy perspective, if he's getting minutes, let's say Fox were out and he were starting, I think he would have a pretty good day, especially with them pace up team like the Kings are.
Well, yeah, I think that anybody's going to have a really good day if they give them 15 more minutes than I expect them to play.
Well, so my point, though, is just that I think he's going to get enough minutes where it's now super crowded, and all these guys are going to get enough minutes where it's just crowded enough where, I just don't want a part of it because of that. And I think some of the other games, we'll talk about one that people are asking about in the premium Slack now. I don't know. I just feel like there's too many bodies there who are going to use the ball, and it's not going to really kind of funnel to the guys who should be having shots. Would you trust Bagley right now, even with Barnes in the mix?
Look, I don't want it to seem like I like anything from Sacramento with any sort of volume, but it has nothing to do with Burks being there. I just don't really like Sacramento in this spot, and everybody's sort of priced where they belong. If Burks does affect them, that just cements that even more. If you shave a minute off of every single other person, that's incredibly unhelpful for a team that's been pretty steady. Everybody's pricing is sort of where it belongs outside of, Bagley is the one guy that has grown in price lately. But for right, if they take minutes from Fox or Heald or Bogdanovich to give them to Alec Burks, they are making a very big mistake for their team.
All right. I guess that's fair. I agree. Don't play Burks, but I think overall, for me, the Kings just seem like a landmine right now. There are a couple teams here who I think you can predict how the rotation is going to shake out with the guys that they're adding. And, you could see the value and then the spots where they're going to be able to fill in, like Josh's guy, Bobby Portis. I think that makes sense. But here I think it's just crowded, and Barnes isn't a high enough usage guy where, he's going to take enough for himself. And I think it's going to be a kind of a mess of all these guys here. Let's see. Jay Kelly 13, I believe, was asking. Yeah. Thoughts on Tobias? We talked about him a little bit up front. Do we need to wait on Embiid news first? I guess let's talk a little bit more about the Sixers and thoughts on Tobias. Do you think he's going to be able to be a decent play? He's at a pretty good price, at least on DraftKings.
He's fine. We have no idea. I have him in for 36 minutes, and he grades out as acceptable. I just don't know what to do. Someone's going to soak up additional usage. Now, if Embiid is out, all hell breaks loose in Philadelphia. God, that really messes. Crazy weird value opens up in a way that I wouldn't have expected. But I don't know how you pick a Philly guy and feel confident about it.
If you were to rank the Philly guys in order of who you would find the most playable, what would that rank be?
On DK?
Yeah.
Embiid, if his ownership continues to be down because of his questionable tag, then Butler, then Simmons, then Tobias Harris.
So I think I would go Tobias first because I think Tobias is going to be able to fill in some gaps. I think he's going to be able to rebound a little more. I think he's going to recognize that he's not going to get the possessions he did and for the Clippers and even on the Pistons to a certain extent. So I think he's going to try to find ways to be useful. Whether that's today or not, I think is a question. But I just like his ability to do enough. And like Embiid's probably the guy I would take first for the reasons that you mentioned. Lower ownership because of the questionable tag. I assume he's going to be in. But I think Harris is an interesting play, and I think I would trust him more than Simmons and Butler because I think they're gonna try to get him involved in a way where he takes enough away from Butler and Simmons, but he'll at least have a shot to get his own.
Do we really think that Butler's going to try to get him involved?
Jimmy Butler, a very selfless player.
Noted selfless player, Jimmy Butler. That's for sure.
He's also a known sulker, so he could just be in the background and be like, "All right, you traded for him, fine," and just do that thing where he passes it off over and over again. I mean.
Yeah,
that would be the way
that's where I'm at. I have no confidence in picking a guy out of here. So I'll have, 2 of each, I guess.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, I don't have a ton of confidence, but the guy I have in the most lineups so far would be Tobias Harris. Flag under 21 asking, what effect would Teague have on Wiggins? Teague is questionable right now unless something's changed. No, yeah, still questionable. Yeah. Jared Bayless, I think not expected to be in. Derrick Rose out. How do you feel like Teague is going to affect those guys? I know he takes enough off the table where I didn't really consider Wiggins heavily, but Wiggins has been shooting shots 28 times last game. He's on something.
Yeah, I mean, Wiggins definitely takes a little bit of a haircut if Teague is on the floor, but I still want him. The rest of this team is still, Josh Okogie and Luol Deng and dudes that aren't great at basketball. Not that I think that Andrew Wiggins is particularly good either. But I don't expect him to suddenly stop shooting just from Teague. Now, if Teague and Rose were in, that gives me some pause. But if it's just Teague, I think I can get by with Wiggins still gunning.
Here's one note from the YouTube chat I just want to hit on before we close off the Sixers convo. New York native Tobias Harris has friends and family coming to the game tonight. He estimated about 10 tickets. So you want to question Tobias now? He's got 10 people at the game, Josh.
I feel so bad for him for only having 10 friends and family.
Yeah. Look, if you're going to play big, those 10 people, when you have the power of the 10-man, the 10th man behind you, there's no stopping you. So block Tobias Harris. That's the move for the day.
Sorry, Toby.
What about Karl-Anthony Towns? The deeper dive guys love Karl-Anthony Towns today. Lofty had some fun stats about him just being a killer on back-to-backs, even though you would think he'd be a little fatigued as a bigger man or a man of larger gait and carriage as Karl-Anthony Towns is. How are you feeling about Towns here? Because he's in a good spot. I like him. He's really done well versus New Orleans this year, but there's a little bit of concern for me because he did play some tough minutes yesterday.
Love him. Love him. I assume that I have him more than I have anybody that isn't a value play.
Okay. Yeah. I have good exposure to Towns too. I just wanted to see if you have anybody else in the Timberwolves for you. Any Saric, 2 big games above 30 points?
No Saric whatsoever.
Yeah, me neither. But it
feels wrong. Enough. He's not going to play enough.
Yeah. Okay. Especially with Teague back in, I think that becomes a little bit less appealing as well.
I mean, he only played because Taj Gibson got into foul trouble 2 games ago. What did he play? 21 minutes in the last game? Yeah. I'm good.
All right.
The 30-minute game is going to put people on him in ways that they shouldn't.
It's fair. I know you're not going to like this question, but I'm going to ask it. Do you see tonight's winning DK line will be balanced or stars and scrubs based?
I have no idea.
I don't think there's enough super cheap value that seems secure to have stars and scrubs line up tonight. I think you gotta force in some weird guys if you wanted to do that. So I don't believe so. Yeah.
No clue. If I thought that I knew that answer, man, I would probably be even better at DFS.
Thoughts on sex? Well, I think some nights though you could tell like when you have a bunch of guys like a minimum price guy, or even last night where you felt like not you, but the general, you felt like Motley had a pretty good spot and he's at 3,200, and Sindarius Thornwell, who ended up out. I'm going to give you some shit for that. Sindarius Thornwell, and you guys were shat all over him, and he ended up outscoring Motley.
I didn't expect Motley to play the most minutes on the team. Did you?
I didn't either, but I thought it was funny because Sindarius Thornwell. I also had the same thing in my video where I had like the PowerPoint thing from you, and I had meh next to and I ended up playing a little bit of him because at 3K, like why not? And he knew he was going to get enough minutes to at least maybe do anything. But it's funny how that breaks sometimes.
As soon as I say it, that's how it's going to break. But
yes,
going back in time, I would play more Motley, knowing that he played that many minutes.
Oh, fair enough, but not more Sindarius Thornwell.
Probably 0.
Poor Sindarius. Poor Sinbad as well.
He was good in college. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he's just a guy who's on the court, and maybe some balls will bounce his way, and maybe he'll hit a few shots. That's really all you can ask of old Cindy Thornwell. That's actually a pretty good hot high school girl name for my 80s rom-com that I'm doing. Let's do a little halftime daddy likes here as we try to do. Obviously, no daddy here, but we got Uncle Chubbs, Uncle Spags, Uncle Chugs as well, hiding somewhere in the closet with a peephole like True Detective. But we are going to do the top 5 owned guys on DraftKings right now, see how we're feeling about it, take our temperature on them. And of course, you can do that with promo code Live Before Lock. Get 50% off your first month. And get in there now and get all the ownership projections and rankings that we talk about ad nauseum here. Number one on the list, Josh.
My temperature?
Rectally, of course. That's the only way I know how.
Perfect.
Colin Sexton right now, number 1 at 27%. Obviously, these can take another update. It probably will have another update before lock. But right now, Colin Sexton, number 1. Josh, how are you feeling? How does Uncle Chubbs feel about 27% Colin Sexton?
How do you think Uncle Chubbs feels about 27% Colin Sexton?
Enthusiastic?
Skosh high. Just skosh.
I was on him the other night. Obviously, that felt great. A matchup where it didn't seem like he should be able to do it. I think he's going to get shut down by Tomas Satoransky today.
I mean, I just think he'll play like Colin Sexton.
He didn't do anything besides get points, and it took him 28 shots, I think, or 24, something like that.
I have a really difficult time just wanting to play anything from Cleveland. Now, it is beneficial that they got 2 absolute turnstiles on defense now in Portis and Jabari, which shout out to Scott Brooks. I brought it up on the deeper dive, but comparing Jabari Parker to Jeff Green is fucking mwah. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. In terms of versatility and be able to follow him in different positions, I think he's accurate. In terms of defense and willingness to do different things and maybe block shots or anything, not exactly a good comp. I'll agree.
By the way, I am okay with Sexton. I am not okay with him at 27%. Just so we're clear here.
Yeah, I think I'm
clearly
under the field on that. So you know who I think is a good pivot to him? Jordan Clarkson. For the reasons you just mentioned, he's going against that second unit probably. Almost definitely he's going against that second unit. I think he's going to kill them. I also think David Nwaba, not a bad pivot to Sexton as well.
How much is Sexton? 40.
Sexton is 4,500.
Yes, I would prefer to have Jordan Clarkson than I would rather have Napier. I would agree. If one is 27 and the other is 14, I would rather just flip-flop those things. David Nwaba, on the other hand, I can probably go ahead and skip.
Okay, that's fair. Actually just got some news in. Kevin Love will play today. So that'll change things.
I guess. I have him in for like 22 minutes or something like that. It just makes I don't know what to think.
I would think that takes enough away from Sexton where I think Sexton becomes a less appealing chalk play.
I would have said it takes a little bit more away from Clarkson.
Really?
I assume the ball's still in Sexton's hands more than Clarkson.
I guess it depends on if Love is starting or not. Because I think if Clarkson's still off the bench and Love is starting, then I think I would think Clarkson's fine, especially if Love's on a minutes cap and starting.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes it even less appealing. I mean, I've had Love in all day, so it's not changing anything from a data perspective for me. It's just really difficult to like a Cav.
Oh yeah, and Love is $10 on Yahoo. Our boy Fast Eddie Fear chiming in on the Slack right now. So
Yeah, I
um,
noticed that earlier today. Looks great for 22 minutes worth of Love on for $10. He
yeah,
smashed in like a return in 20 minutes, I think, earlier this season. I could be wrong.
yeah, probably not as playable at 7,500 on DraftKings.
Dude, why does
He's
everybody think I'm so negative as opposed to every other day? Are you guys all new? Congrats on finding the channel.
You gotta put a smile on your face for all these as we
Shit.
go. Like we're working at Chick-fil-A.
Jesus.
Mm.
Dude, 3 hours worth of shows every day. I think I'm a miserable prick for most of it.
It's probably because my professional demeanor and my sunny professional demeanor is shining through. I've been spending too much time with the DK Live people.
Yeah, I've turned that down the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Wait, you've been on there last 2 weeks?
No, I turned it down both 2 weeks. I just can't do it.
You got too much time. You got too much shit.
I hate talking about who my favorite tier 6 play is.
I nailed tier 6 yesterday. The tier of the working man is what they call that. And I got Bojan Bogdanovic, who was just a fucking monster. But felt good about that. Didn't play tier 6 or anything. Or Bojan, really. But got that right.
24 minutes, and I don't even have a lineup entered yet.
Well, here we'll help you build a lineup because the number 2 owned player is Karl-Anthony Towns at 23% on DraftKings. Would you go over the field or under the field there?
I would go over the field, and I will go over the field.
How about a guy right there with them, Eric Bledsoe, going to be popular because he jumps out for a lot of people with Chris Middleton out. I know Eddie also was pretty big on him on Twitter. Bledsoe at 23%. How does Uncle Chubbs feel about that?
Indifferent. That seems about right to me. He just hit. Yeah. It's not that I think that he's going to have a bad game or anything, but there's just, sometimes he just plays 28 minutes.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying with that. I don't think this game blows out, though. I just think it's going to be down pace enough for the Bucks and, being shorthanded one guy. And I think that's enough for it to stay close. But, yeah, I think there's still some blowout risk. They can definitely blow the doors off Dallas especially if Luka's gimpy at all.
Yeah.
Number 4 on the list, Dorian Finney-Smith at 23%. How's Uncle Chubbs feel?
23? Oh, I have it in front of me. I'm okay with that.
Really? For Dorian Finney-Smith? I know he's a perpetual punching bag for some of the guys on our channel, so I'm surprised.
Oh, I think he sucks. But he's 3,900. He should be able to, just the way that the day is setting up, he's going to soak up a lot of minutes. And at that point in time, I'm kind of okay with it. Not a lot that he can do to really submarine you, barring an injury. So, no, I don't necessarily have an issue with that. I'll probably end up a little bit higher than that, actually.
This is a very critical YouTube chat. So they're telling you to take caffeine.
Caffeine? I drink so much coffee every day. Oh, my God. I would assume that if I went to the doctor, they would tell me to very much back off.
Lone Wolf, you look great. You should smile more. #MeTooDFS.
Oh, my God, guys.
Yeah, don't tell people to smile. Don't assume I want to smile at you. I don't.
I couldn't be happier. Today was seriously a really fantastic day, and I'm not even trying to be funny. Although I do keep getting sunset pictures in Aruba from my wife.
Yeah, her day's probably a little better.
She sent me a picture, smiling with her mouth really wide open. I immediately took the screenshot, drew the dong on it, and sent it right back to her.
It's nice that you have that kind of marriage where you could do that. I feel like a lot of the wives in both sitcoms and the life that I know not be as cool with that.
Her response was just, "Oh, period."
It seems like that's a good brand for you, I think. Your wife would reply like that.
Yeah.
Here, number 5 to close us out here for our halftime daddy likes / Uncle Chubb / Uncle Spags likes. Lauri Markkanen at 7K on DraftKings, 22%.
Ooh, it feels high. It feels a little high to me.
I would agree that it does, in fact, feel high. Oh, also, Eddie's saying that caffeine can cause kidney stones. So apparently the people want you to have kidney stones too, inadvertently.
Yeah. I already have enough kidney issues.
I have enough issues getting stoned.
That is a regular issue in my life as well.
Of course, I mean when people bury me up to my neck in sand and throw rocks at me. But yeah, whatever other interpretations too. Thoughts on Ed Davis as a center punt on DK? He jumps out in my projections. It's hard to trust with Jared Allen there for me, but I do have some exposure. How are you feeling about Ed Davis?
Ed Davis is a guy you can basically play if you're playing a bunch of lineups. He's going to play whatever minutes that Jared Allen doesn't play at center. It's really hard to recommend him in any other form. I like Ed Davis if I'm playing 150 lineups. If I'm playing in a 3 max, there's probably basically no chance I have Ed Davis.
Yeah, I would agree. He's like a good GPP. It's weird because like usually you think of a GPP play as like a scoring dependent guard or something, but he's like a really good GPP center where he could end up getting minutes. He could end up putting up 15 boards in 20 minutes. Like
there's the news bomb. Paul Millsap out.
I don't know. That's a bomb, but it does make
it dramatically changes the slate because Mason Plumlee is now going to be 30% owned.
Where is his price on FanDuel? I don't know where that is.
I don't have a clue. Let me look.
Let's see. Plumlee is 5,800 on FanDuel. I know offhand he's 5,400 on DK. So I guess what would be your move here? Would you, to quote Eddie, would you windmill slam in some Plumlee?
No, but I will have quite a bit.
Yeah, I enjoy a good Plumlee, and I think it also obviously opens things up a little more for Jokic, opens things up a little more for Murray. That's an appealing game stack, which I don't have any of right now.
All right, there's some Plumlee. Bring Lyles up to 19. Jared Vanderbilt going to get 8 more minutes or something stupid today. I doubt it. Give Wancho to 14. Projections are now updated for Paul Millsap news. Premium subs.
That was very efficient.
I'm fucking good at my job, man.
Okay, here's a question because these guys are very similarly priced. Portis or Plumlee?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me take a look. Because I honestly have no idea until right now. The answer is Portis, I think. Mason Plumlee grading out not nearly as well as I expected.
The price being up hurts a little bit, but he is a good per minute player, and I don't know, slower paced game though. Theoretically, I guess Brooklyn's been playing a little faster, so maybe not that slower paced.
Yeah, good defensive team, at least on a per possession basis. I gave Plumlee a little boost just seeing where he came in there. But look, I feel more confident in Plumlee because I expect him to get the minutes barring foul trouble. There's a lot of variance in Bobby Portis's output for tonight. So in that regard, like use your discretion.
Also, Raboshua in the premium Slack saying that I guess showing a Twitter account from, I don't know, John Johnson. That guy doesn't sound familiar, but still no sign of the beat on the floor. Brett Brown has said he's having a hard time.
He's already on the floor.
Oh, okay. I guess that was a few minutes ago then. All right, never mind.
Sorry, didn't want to cut you off, but I knew it had already changed.
Well, you know what? I'm glad Joel Embiid's belly is doing better.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I just know that he has now made his way out, and he just came out late.
Hopefully not with a trail behind him.
At least I thought I read that.
Hey, if it didn't happen, then that's on you. I did my job.
I know that I read that. Where the hell did I read that? Oh yeah, in our own damn chat.
Oh, see, I keep it queued up when I have some questions that I still want to hit. That's probably why.
Oh yeah, if you scroll down like 6 more lines, he's on the floor.
Oh, there we go. Much later than normal. Yeah, I see it now. All right.
My bad, man.
Tilted Frank, do we like Levine with the news on his ankle? I mean, the news was that he missed shoot around or missed practice yesterday, but he was like supposed to be in. So I don't have any concern if they were saying giving a day's notice thinking he's going to be in.
No, I have no issue whatsoever.
All right. Let's see if we got any other good questions in the Slack. Favorite low salary small forwards on FanDuel for a GPP?
Let me look. Sorry, my Excel just crashed, so I'm opening it back up.
Hey, I'm fine.
Low salary small forwards?
Correct. Tilted Frank. You don't want him to be
DFS and who else? Alrighty. I don't know how low is low.
like low, like here, like relatively.
Yeah, I mean like Mikal Bridges at 4,700. If you mean lower than that, Jabari at 42. I don't know. There's not a lot that I like to pay down for today. Not at small forward.
Either or. Love is starting. Gibbs 15 is breaking in the premium Slack right now.
That makes sense. So. I mean, if he's going to get himself warmed up, they're not going to sit him on the bench for 8 additional minutes just to get not warmed up again.
That is a very good point. Do we have any updates on ownership? Just want to make sure.
I mean, now that the Plumlee news is coming out, that's going to change everything. So that's the one. That'll be the next update when it comes out.
All right. Good old Plumlee day.
Because I mean, it's at least going to go up a bit.
While we're talking about potential chalk guys, obviously we talked a little about Teague up front. What are you doing with Isaiah Cannon on the off chance that that Teague is rolled out?
Playing a ton of him. Well, is Bayless out too? They're both questionable, right?
I don't think we've gotten that confirmed. But the assumption is that Bayless is going to be out.
I mean, if they're both out, you can windmill slam Isaiah Cannon then.
There we go. Now we're windmill slamming.
I don't know. I don't know who else would. He would have to play like 30 minutes. They just don't have any other bodies.
Would you just keep a spot for like a 3K? Like just put Cannon in now and hope for the best. Cannon and now and hope for the best. Wait, no, Cannon. We did this on the show once.
I would not. I would not. They play at 9:30. I'll wait it out and late swap to whatever I need to late swap. There's plenty of dudes from the Kings and Heat that can be swapped back in.
But not at that price.
No, but then you have the ability to upgrade.
Oh, so you're saying keep Teague in and then just go down. Okay.
Yeah.
I was saying like, would you just keep a spot now with Kanan?
Like I mean, now that you could use the late swap optimizer, I don't even care. Okay. However much I get when I recrunch is what I'll get of him, but I'm not going to pre-plan for that. He's Isaiah Cannon, so like, he could also just suck.
He can. He was pretty good. I mean, he's been good for them so far, but I feel like that's his charm. He's like a siren. He just sucks you in while you're on a boat somewhere, and then all of a sudden
you are right. He just sucks.
No, he was good on Phoenix too in the beginning, and then he wasn't as good this year. But like last year, he was.
Listen to what you just said. He was good on Phoenix.
Yeah, but
he's essentially a G League star.
He's like somebody you go on like 1 or 2 dates with, and you're like, man, this is great. And then all of a sudden, the third date, you're like, oh, I get it now. And then like that's sort of what Isaiah Cannon is. He's like
I've basically never dated in my entire life.
You know what, Josh? You're a little cranky today. You should try some caffeine.
No, I really haven't. I didn't date in college. I just, you go to a party and you get hammered and you go home with someone. And then I graduated school and I moved to Wilmington and I just happened to meet my wife immediately.
Huh. Well, anyway, sometimes you'll date people and it'll seem great. And then all of a sudden you'll find out, let's say they have an incurable STD. And then you're like, what do I do with this information that you seem cool? And then you got to just deal with that. It's good to know that you're not totally talking from experience. No, it's just like a thing. That's just like what, that's like pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
I've read blogs about it on Elite Daily.
That sounds like a rough, that sounds like I got lucky and didn't need to do that.
I'm sorry, this chat. I'm going to say it. I hope you don't take offense, Josh. Engelman's wife, cheating, not cheating?
No, I read it too. I laughed in my head.
Like, what?
Ooh, now that one's good. Adam Stimpert coming with a reference that I really appreciate because I watched that movie a lot. Engelman's wife is getting Ruben from Along Came Polly. That's good. You know Scuba? I Scuba. Rain Dance. Great movie. Pour one out for Philip Seymour Hoffman, man.
Addiction is a terrible thing. If you're addicted, get help. Don't be like Philip Seymour Hoffman and waste your genius. Let's see.
I need to hustle and at least like put some placeholders in.
What about Shabazz Napier?
I'm going to end up with more than I want.
Okay.
How's that?
No,
I'm not comfortable with it. I just don't know what to do with all these dudes back. I would just kind of wish that Dinwiddie was healthy so that I knew that I didn't have to project Napier for enough minutes that it makes me concerned.
Yeah, I think that's a fair approach. I too like Napier. I'm a little worried about having LeVert back in the mix.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to play a ton of minutes, but he's clearly a guy who's going to have the ball in his hands, and deservedly so. So I don't know. It's basically how I feel about it. I'm just gonna give you guys right now because I feel like we didn't go in depth on a bunch of games. Hassan Whiteside, how about him? Over 30 minutes in his last 2 games, but they were more Hassan Whiteside-y games. I guess is the best way to put that.
He's in the same position as Jared Allen, just better. Like, I clearly think that if he plays 30 minutes, you should have a lot of Hassan Whiteside in your lineup. He could also just play 22 and Bam Adebayo plays 26, and all of a sudden you're like, shit, why didn't I play Bam Adebayo at 4,000 or whatever he's at? I will never feel comfortable picking that dude. Until he gets like 30 minutes for 3 weeks, I like play him. He's a fantastic GPP option. If he craters, please don't be surprised.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty spot on with how I'd feel as well. There's a pretty high risk, high reward thing, but yeah.
Like it's really hard to not like him as a ceiling play in a GPP.
You are the hippopotamus, Eddie says. I'll just keep reporting Eddie's private DMs to us, just for your sake.
That works.
Joel Embiid is in fact starting, as is JJ Redick. So we did it, fam.
Yes, we did. Josh needs to get at least placeholders in right now, and then I'll feel comfortable for the last 8 minutes. Actually, I won't feel comfortable. I probably won't get this in the way that I want, but at least I won't have bombs.
I agree. And that's when the girls leave you. No, to be clear, I was not referring to my side of the equation with incurable STDs. In fact, you subscribe to my premium email, you can find the story I'm talking about, but not one I tell publicly. Mitchell Robinson. Oh, Kennard not starting. Somebody saying in the Slack. Is that accurate? Double check. Pistons will start Jackson, Galloway, Brown, Griffin, Drummond. Oof.
Okay.
Any Galloway love?
No, I'm good. I'm good there.
You don't want to load up on some Galloway?
I really don't.
Can I tempt you into some Galloway, bro?
Yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and pass there.
You know, for this spot,
what's his price?
Former team? Maybe.
What's his price?
He is 3,300.
It's not the worst idea in the world.
No, it's not. I don't think it's not a bad play, not one I would want to load up on, but
I mean, he sucks. But
he does.
At that price tag, I don't mind working him into a few lineups in a GPP.
Is he cash playable?
No.
Okay. I would agree.
No. He doesn't have to play more than 18 minutes just because he's like... Nothing good has to come of this.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Don't Embiid my status asking about thoughts on Drew on FanDuel. And I guess give me your AD thoughts too. Because Drew, to me, feels too high priced on DraftKings. Let me just double check his price on FanDuel.
He's not a guy I want a lot of.
Yeah, I would agree. Actually, no. On either site, I don't think Drew's a great play. I'm okay with AD. I don't see him being limited today. Like I think you probably just won't play him back to back. I think if anything, AD is actually a pretty strong play today. I think he's going to come out swinging. What's your AD stance? What's your position on him ownership wise?
No real interest. I don't think he plays enough minutes.
You think they're going to limit him?
They've talked about how he's not going to play as much as he was playing before. I don't know what that means, but if he's not getting 38 minutes, he's like 12K or whatever. He could come out and smash. I mean, he's Anthony Davis, but I'm a little apprehensive of his first game back.
Yeah, I think he's gonna play, like, just not play the back-to-backs. That was what I read, at least from what that little coach speak was about him not playing as much. Yeah, maybe it's not 38, maybe it's 35, but he hasn't played well versus Minnesota this year, which I thought was odd. He hasn't had a game above, I think, like 55 fantasy points. Definitely not over 60.
All right.
Oh, Fast Eddie says he would waiters at 3,900 over Langston at 3,300 if he could. So
I would agree.
Yeah, I don't mind waiters either, so I'm okay with that. But I don't think Langston's a bad play, and I think this might just be because we did that video with Rob Beard a while ago, who is the Pistons beat reporter, and he said the Pistons have been very, very high on Langston Galloway. Obviously, a half a season of him being Langston Galloway might sour them a little bit, but spot versus a crappy old team, and they wanted him to get going. I think maybe he's a little interesting.
Yeah, they gave him a shit contract.
Well, you mean
they're the only ones that are high on him? That's the problem.
You got to get him at the price that the market gives him.
But I don't mind having him a little bit. But I agree with Eddie. Pay $600 more and get Dion Waiters.
We're playing both.
Yeah, we're playing both.
The super 3-point dependent tournament lineup. Yeah. You know what? I might do that. Throw one of those in there just
sometimes you got to say YOLO.
I agree. Let's see. Any good questions
in this goddamn list?
All right, checking for questions now. LOL Galloway. That's good. What do you think about the Clay birthday game? So I don't have a thought about a birthday game for him, but I think Clay is honestly, for me right now, the only Warrior I'm comfortable playing regularly because he's priced appropriately for what the situation is with them, which is that they're going to probably play 3 quarters and somebody's going to get hot, and that's just what it is. So
I prefer Draymond and DeMarcus Cousins.
I'm surprised like DeMarcus with the minute stuff with him.
Yeah, so now that people aren't playing him in 60% of the lineups and all the other stupid shit they were doing when he first came back, I've equated this before on a couple other shows. He's treating each one of these games like he's a reliever in baseball and just letting it rip. And if he's playing 25 minutes, basically like as hard as he can, going for everything that he could possibly get, then I'm interested in him keeping it. He's been at like 1.5 fantasy points per minute since he's been back. I think that's pretty reasonable to stay there if he's going to keep like unloading the gas tank in limited minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Now they could beat the brakes off of the Suns here and he plays like 18 minutes because they're up by 700. That's a reasonable stance to take. But if he's going to play like the 25 minutes that I expect him to play, I really like the idea of having him because I think that he's just going to be heavily involved every second he's on the floor. He doesn't have to like coast in the second quarter. He wants to get his.
Yeah, and this is certainly a spot for it. I mean, it's a pace down spot, but that actually could benefit him because he gets in the position a little more. Ayton, certainly not anybody to worry about defensively. Actually, how do you feel about Ayton? Because he's a guy, he actually pops up in Osmo's rankings as being a pretty decent play. Pops up on all the optimizers, my projections as well. What are your thoughts on Ayton?
I have a little bit. I assume I'll be over the field. I'm not really comfortable with it. I wish that I were hedging it somehow just because of the game itself. You don't see a lot of like 15-point underdogs at home on a day-to-day basis.
No. But what an underdog story if DeAndre Ayton led them to glory. It's just the unbeatable Warriors.
Lone Wolf in YouTube chat is saying, why is waiters a thing? Is someone out? Yeah, they traded Tyler Johnson and Wayne Ellington.
What about Dwayne Wade? Any interest in him?
Fuck that dude. No, look, he's okay on DraftKings. Don't play him at his preposterous price on FanDuel.
Okay, that was a hot take.
I mean, like, look, I have him in for 25 minutes. Everyone's like, he could trend higher. At 5K, I think that's perfectly reasonable. At 6,300 on FanDuel, don't do it.
Oh, Justin Jackson apparently available now.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, that's what the premium Slack is saying. That's going to mess up some stuff.
That's an understatement.
So Dorian Finney-Smith, not as great of a play now, I presume?
No. Well, no. Not so much.
Yeah, he's gonna,
nor is Tim Hardaway.
Oh, yeah, good point. I mean, Justin Jackson isn't a high usage guy or anything, though.
It's minutes, man. It's minutes.
It is minutes. But they have minutes to spare in this matchup in particular.
Don't have minutes to spare. I mean, yeah, I guess I could take the minutes. I guess I could just reassign the court. You know what? They do have minutes to spare. I could reassign the Courtney Lee, Ryan Brokoff minutes. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I think people were saying that their Brokoff might be in the mix there, and we are locked.
What team I was thinking of, but it wasn't them.
Fuck. Yeah, we're locked. So, do we get ownership?
Updated for 22 minutes of Justin Jackson, whatever that ends up meaning.
All right. Probably not much, but I think Justin Jackson is not a play I would want tonight, too, for the record.
Yeah, no, don't play him.
God, I hope people didn't get off Luke Kennard. I really hope not.
Were people on Luke Kennard?
We had him projected as being the third highest owned guy at some point.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's pull up ownership. Let me grab.
It's going to be on Daddy Didn't Likey, Luke Kennard.
Yeah, I did not play very much Luke Kennard, but yeah, he didn't seem like a great play regardless. Damn it, how do I do this again? I fucking
Josh equals Satan. Good God, guys.
It's a little bit strong. I've known Josh for a while, and I'd say he's pretty mostly not satanic.
Yeah, and I think that I'm pretty constantly surly.
I don't know. Maybe people expected a little more whimsy. I don't know.
I did something stupid and whimsical.
What did you do?
I don't know. Some sort of whimsical, whatever I thought a whimsical face would be.
Oh, I thought you did something on the screen that I couldn't see.
Oh yeah, I tried to make
you drew a dick over my mouth like you would do for all the people you love.
I should have. Whoa! There's an alert from HBO Now. The case against Adnan Syed coming March 10th.
Oh, so they're going counter serial then, huh?
Guess.
Okay, here we go. So let's see what little daddy likes here. A little Uncle Chubbs and Uncle Spags likes. Yeah. I have the DraftKings ownership on the $4 Micro Millions finale, in which they are not giving away $1 million for each individual tournament. And I find the branding, frankly, to be a little bit confusing, but that's just me. Number one on the list of the games that are going on early and are locked, Colin Sexton at 35%. How does Uncle Chubbs feel about that one?
That's a little high.
Just a skosh?
Yeah, it's a little high.
It's a little high. Where are you on Sexton right now?
Under that number.
Like significantly? Like, would it hurt if he had another 40-point day?
No.
Okay.
But it'll hurt me in that I have more than I want, but I just didn't have an opportunity to get off of it.
All right, sir.
He doesn't grade out all that poorly. I just know that I had better options to offload it.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I agree with that. I think there were some options to pivot away there, but if he has another big day, look, I get people point chasing. 35 does seem high though for Colin Sexton, regardless, because he is just a scorer, and especially now we know Kevin Love is there. I don't think he's getting 24 shots again. I would be surprised if he got 24 shots today. Dennis Smith, number 2 at 34%. How does Uncle Chubbs feel about that?
34%?
Yep.
I have a lot less than that.
I'm actually probably close to that. So Uncle Spags will agree with it. Also, by the way, this is America's second favorite game. America's favorite game is Daddy Likes. America's second favorite game is the uncles playing Daddy, which just sounds bad. That just sounds worse. Eddie also dislikes Sexton, so we are a front mostly unified against the Colin Sexton army, I guess. The DFS army and the Colin Sexton army.
I'm against that one as well.
Blake Griffin, number 3 at 23.3%. Thoughts?
I'm right there.
I'm a little above that. I'm cool with it. Luke Kennard, still at 21%, just about. How do we feel about that?
I have 0.
I don't have 0 because he did.
I don't have 0. I have 10%.
Yeah, I think I had him at about, based on your minutes projection, which, by the way, I now use. I just use your minutes for everything. So just so you know, so you feel after we talked about that. Luke Kennard, I think they are. You do a good job, and they are updated in a timely fashion, which is more than some other providers who provide minutes out there can say. But yeah, I'm at 20 points, 20 fantasy points before that, so wouldn't be a great day regardless for old Lukey. Number 4, Mason Plumlee at 16.8%. That seems pretty good right now, I would think.
I don't even know what I got.
I probably have less than that.
I have double that.
Yeah, I didn't get a bunch in there today because it came in late. Andre Drummond, 15% almost.
That's what
How
I
are
have.
you with that? Yeah, about the same for me. Simmons at 13.8.
I only have one lineup with him.
Actually, same for me. Jordan Clarkson, 13.6. I'm pretty heavily above that.
I have 25.
Yeah, I'm the most Jordan Clarkson guy today, especially as a pivot to Sexton. But we'll see how that goes out. Tomas Satoransky at 12.6%.
Pretty sure I have more than that. Yeah, I have way more than that.
Got 0 Sato today. I like Sato and tough defensive matchups, not easy ones. Nikola Jokic, 11.35.
I have less than that, and I'm not happy about it. Had I seen this, I would have offloaded a little bit of my Towns to Jokic.
Yeah, I also would have preferred to have more Jokic than I do. I think I only have like 1 or 2 lineups with him out of 20 something, 30 maybe.
I greatly preferred Towns to Jokic, but I have way too much Towns and not enough Jokic.
Bradley Beal at 11%.
I hope I have. Yeah, I don't have any.
I think I have like 1 maybe. Jeff Green, 8.9.
I don't have any.
I am above that. Worried about the Portis thing though, but I'm above that. I'll just burn through the rest of them. Reggie Jackson at 7.8, Larry Nance 7.6, Jamal Murray 7.1, Bobby Portis 6.1. Seems lower than I would have thought.
I have a massive amount more than that.
Yeah, I think I'm like 8x that, to be honest.
I'm not happy about that either. That's something that doesn't happen if I'm not live.
Yes, that's, you know what, I think we talked about this, but like the one day I didn't do a live show was the one day like I finished the top of the end one because I actually had time to like sit around and like think and fuck around.
That last half hour is so much easier.
Every day, guys, we sacrifice for you because of our love for you, not our love for paying jobs. We sacrifice for you. Let's see. Jimmy Butler at 5.5. Joel Embiid also at 5.5. Trey Lyles at 5.5. Trevor Ariza at 5.3. Thomas Bryant 4.3. Damian Dotson, the great, the better than Tim Hardaway player, as we all know and love, 3.6%. You above that?
Damian Dotson?
3.6.
I don't have any.
Bastard. I have more than that. Tobias Harris, 3.6 for Tobias Harris as well. I'm above that. David Nwaba, some people out there like low scoring guards like I do, 2.97%. DeAndre Jordan, 2.1%. JJ Redick, 1.7%. Langston Galloway, 1.6%. I don't hate that at all.
No, not at all. But even if he smashes, it's not even going to matter.
No, but if he opened up something good lineup-wise, which he may have in my Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns lineup that I got in there under the wire.
I would like that so much more if it was a Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns lineup.
Oh, I have one of those too, but probably not with Langston. Kevin Knox, 1.4. You know what? Knox is going to have. I think Knox is going to be one of those guys who's a good second half run at some point. I don't know when it's going to be, but I think he's on the cusp of it. He's been shooting so much. He's comfortable.
It'll be probably when he moves to Europe.
Just because he's lanky and built like a stick figure, that doesn't mean that he needs to go to Europe. He's a fine player. He's gonna turn it around.
He's a real bad rookie. Real bad.
Jabari Parker, 1.2%. That's actually not bad. Knowing that if he's
feels way low.
Yeah, if he's
now,
gonna
like
play 20
he
minutes,
could fuck shit up.
Mm-hmm.
He could play 28 minutes today, and no one's gonna be like, "Oh, I can't believe Jabari got 28 minutes."
He actually makes me worry a little bit more about my Jeff Green numbers because I could see him getting hot if he's going to get that much minutes and taking some minutes away from Green in that first group. If Jabari Parker screws me today, I'll be not happy. Malik Beasley, 1.1%. That's actually not too bad either. Monty Morris, 0.9. TJ McConnell, 0.85. Noah Vonleh, 0.77. Mitchell Robinson, 0.71. Ante Zizic, 0.69. Will Barton, 0.65. How far the mighty have fallen. Matthew Dellavedova, 0.48. Boban Marjanovic, 0.45. Good for you. Good for you. Right in front of Kevin Love, who is also 0.45. Jordan McRae, 0.4. Luke Cornett, 0.3. Dang Adele getting some representation at 0.26. Torrey Craig, 0.26. Mario Hezonja, 0.21. Alonzo Trier, 0.17. Bruce Brown, 0.16.
Down goes Spags.
Am I still on?
You are now.
Damn it! I had a whole spiel. I got to the guy who played himself.
Who played himself?
Somebody or a few people played Paul Millsap at 0.14. So you, my friend, you have played yourself.
We need some graphic where like it's just this big stamp that comes up like "played yourself,"
like they do on DK Live for the. I
yeah, they do that. Yeah, we need something else then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think a stamp is always good. Like, I wish we had stamps for everything. We just disagree, and then there's a stamp.
The stamps.com stamp of the night.
Oh, whenever we get those podcast ads, whenever we're a multi-channel network on YouTube, we'll be good.
We're like, I mean, Laffy's been selling HelloFresh for like 3 weeks.
I saw that. I did see you mention that we should be getting paid for that. I agree.
He went on a rant about HelloFresh on Wednesday or whatever. Whenever I brought it up in our internal Slack, next morning or next day, I go out to my mailbox to get the mail out. First thing on the top of it is an advertisement for fucking HelloFresh.
I've never done any of them. I had somebody once try to get me on a Blue Apron. I'm just like, what am I gonna like? I'm gonna buy food.
Of course you didn't. You're just too busy using Uber Eats for $60 worth of KFC.
More like $30 of Chick-fil-A. If we're going to be factual.
Whatever. Wrong chicken spot. I was trying to make a point.
No, you're right. I don't like cooking. We can all agree there. Spags played himself on the punch point. Yeah, my internet did play myself there. I think the enthusiasm I was presenting was too much for my Wi-Fi connection. We can all agree there.
Yeah.
Spags been medicated whole show. Spags is not medicated in any way. Not
yet.
No, one day perhaps we can all aspire. Eddie Fear. Eddie Fear is well medicated now, so he's feeling fine. He's also well educated now.
That's probably the reason we should get out of here, right? We hit our peak.
On that note, thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button on the way out. We had a bunch of viewers in, and I didn't ask for likes then. So make up for those guys who left. Hit the like button now. Also, thank you to Thrive Fantasy. Of course, download their app. They have some bunch of contests going on every single day. Download the app. Click the link that's in the YouTube chat and go check that out. Let me just throw it in one more time. Why not? And of course, we are doing our anniversary promotion as well, as I mentioned above. So the second this video is done, like this video right now. Leave a comment on the static video the second it's done, and you'll be entered to win in our anniversary giveaway. Celebrate our first year anniversary. We're giving away 1 full year, an all-access annual membership for free. It's a $700 value. All you have to do is like this video, leave a comment on the static version just saying whatever, with your favorite hat that Josh has ever worn, and you'll be entered to win in the big anniversary giveaway. You can also go follow our Twitter at Osmo_com. There's a pinned tweet right there, which you can retweet and reply to. It's going to ask a question about your favorite DFS lesson from the last year, or the biggest lesson you've had. If you answer that, do the retweet, you'll be entered to win on there too. So you get double chances to win. Comment on all the videos. They all the same thing as our 24 days of giveaway that you guys may remember from Christmas. But it's really our way of saying thank you to you. It's been a big year for us at Osmo, a lot of growth. We're over 10,000 YouTube subs, over almost at 12,000 now. Tons of videos, tons of views, tons of support from everybody. So thank you. Go support it, like the video, do all the stuff. And any parting words, Josh, before we call it quits on this business week?
If you missed it, go watch my video on how to use Fantasy Cruncher Rewind.
Oh yeah, Josh's been doing some good tutorial stuff, so make sure you're keeping an eye peeled for that as well whenever they go live. Also, my 4 quarters video, short form thing we're doing, not every day, but pretty close to it whenever I don't have a call that distracts me or anything like that. So go keep your eyes peeled for that as well. And I think we'll have Eddie on the weekend. Is it going to be Eddie both days?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe EMAC with him tomorrow. Maybe I'll be around on Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. The wife comes home. The wife comes home Sunday, so I might not be around. I haven't seen her in a week.
Yeah, you got to spend time with her. You got to make up for all the getting her groove back she's doing in Aruba right now.
Yeah, pounding the scuba instructor.
Yeah, of course, but hopefully like one that's not in too good of a shape, so you don't like feel that bad about it. Like you don't want somebody.
Yeah, we're gonna feel bad about it one way or the other. I'd appreciate it if it wasn't just some doughy asshole in Aruba that looks like me.
like just a guy who looks like you, but like has like cool surfer beads.
It's gonna be Jurgen Vandersloot.
It's like, what? How do you know that guy? Did you go to college with him? Like, no. Well, anyway, Josh's cuckolding aside, thank you guys for watching, and be back again soon. Have a good weekend and good luck.
Later, everybody.